and we are slowly but surely just planning our move, and this is where I started to set it up, guys. Through the hairpin, get a better exit, and onto the main straight. Don't use too much ERS on the back straight, and now we're gonna blast it down the main straight. Up there, take that corner very aggressively, open up DRS, overtake mode is engaged. We cross the line to start lap 21. Turbocharged 51 over here. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. We are back on F1 2020, back in the My Team career mode, looking at our sexy automobile, and we are heading towards the Chinese Grand Prix after we've started off this season on a roll. A win in Bahrain, a win in Vietnam. Can we make it 3 out of 3? I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I highly doubt it, because we are not close to being the fastest car on the grid. Bahrain we lucked into a win there with the safety car and just having a good strategy. And when you come to Vietnam, that, however, we were one on pure pace, but it's an entirely different circuit to the one we're heading to now. Make sure to drop a like down below. I can't even speak anymore. Make sure to drop a like down below on the video. It's only going to take you 2 seconds. And guys, while you guys watch what I do on screen, just a quick disclaimer, if you guys watch my career mode videos, you already know what I'm going to say now. But for those of you guys that don't watch career mode, that watch my team, I'm quickly going to mention this as well. Guys, the situation in South Africa recently, where my home country, has not been ideal. I lost my job last year, July. And ever since then, I've been struggling my hiney off to get a job. It's already hard in South Africa to get a job due to our economy. But with COVID also being a big factor, it's nearly impossible to get a job in South Africa today. If you have a job in South Africa, be very thankful for what you have. And yeah, guys, so the main thing I want to come to is, I don't have money to buy F1 2021, and I know the hype because it's a new year with the real life F1. The yearly game has come out. Everybody's excited for that, but I don't have the money to buy it. So we are gonna keep the F1 2020 content rolling. I'll see how much seasons we can do of my team and career mode, and just have fun. Hopefully somewhere throughout this next few months something goes right for me and I can get my hands on F1 2021. But until then, guys, we don't just have the F1 content. We've got Need for Speed Heat, we've got Wreckfest, and the Motorsport Lounge videos where we do the podcasts. There's more than enough content to put a smile on your face. I ask you guys still please keep supporting me through this tough time, because if the channel keeps growing, it's going to get just nicer and nicer. And while we talk about that, guys, we are only 4 subscribers away from hitting 200. So if you're already subscribed, share this video to a friend. Please, I would highly appreciate it. Share it to a friend, get them subscribed, get them watching the content. That is always a nice thing to do, and I would highly appreciate that. And while you're down there, check out the links in the description down below. Go check out my second channel that I run with iiTzAssassins, as Forza Watch Gaming, and also drop a like down below and go follow me on social media. Guys, we are heading towards the Chinese Grand Prix. You guys checked out everything on screen there. It's going to be a very interesting weekend. You guys know the AI are quite OP here around China. China and Silverstone are 2 of the tracks where it's the worst. So we're really going to have to be on pace this weekend. But let's look at the performance index. Mercedes are still leading the way from Racing Point and Red Bull, very close behind them in P2 and 3. We have now shot up to P4. But guys, what this graph represents and what happens out on track is sometimes 2 different things. You can be the quickest car on paper, but you can have like P8, 9 type of pace in certain situations. So don't always take this graph as law. It can easily change up. But you've got Ferrari in P5, Renault P6, McLaren P7, AlphaTauri P... No. That is... Jeez. Wait. Ferrari P5, Renault P6, McLaren P7, AlphaTauri P8, and then you've got Haas and Williams and Alfa Romeo down below. I always forget that in my team there's 11 teams because you are an extra team. I was like, there's only 10 teams, why do I see 11? Sorry, I had a little bit of a blonde moment. You guys can see a little bit of an excursion in practice. Nothing too bad. But now it's time for qualifying. So let's go straight to quali. Jumping straight in towards the end of our first run in Q1, guys. You'll see we come through the final corner. We open up the throttle coming out of the hairpin into the final corner. I think I already said through the final. We went through the penultimate corner into the final one. DRS to the line. It's not the best lap. We only managed P17? That's not good. That's not good, guys. Our quality pace really needs to be worked on. But the thing is, we open up DRS towards the end of our second run, and luckily, we managed P14. But guys, look at Albin. He's more than half a second quicker than me. He's sitting in P6. So maybe the whole quali pace issue is not completely up to the car. When you look at the first two rounds, it's clear that it was the car because Albin struggled as well. But maybe it's not just the car, it's me as well. I can't be getting beat by my teammate by half a second. That is bad. That is a bit bad. So I maybe need to go do a few laps in time trial to get my pace up. But in any case, guys, we start off Q2.
At the end of this lap.
Thank you very much, Jeff. And you guys see I set a lap on a worn set of soft tires. We now jump onto a set of mediums. And yeah, you guys can see we're not gaining any time whatsoever. These tires just don't have the grip, even if you compare them to a worn set of softs. So in quali trim, the mediums just aren't the tire to go on. So at the end of this lap, we will be boxing, as you guys are going to see now.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
Thank you, Jeff. And we will strap on our last remaining set of soft tires to end this quali session with. But guys, I'm actually in shock. Albin was half a second quicker than me in Q1. Now heading towards Q2, I'm actually ahead of him. He's in 15th, I'm on 14th. So we are third to last and second to last. So yeah, but we need to sort out this car. You guys can see we get pushed into the garage by our very, very neatly and sexy dressed pit crew with their white, green, and purple t-shirts with the black pants. I absolutely love the outfits. You guys can see one remaining set of soft tires. We strap it on, and it's make or break time, guys, because we've only got one run left. So let's jump towards the beginning of our final lap in Q2. Into this first corner, you guys can see it's actually started to rain. So where did this come from? There was no forecast for rain, or maybe I just forgot to look. But it started to rain. Me and Albin have dropped to P15 and P16 in the order, so we are lost at this stage. We really need to pull our fingers out of our high knees into the end of the first sector hairpin. Here we go. Let's open up the throttle as quickly as possible into this next left-hander into a right-hander. It's nearly flat out in these modern cars. Into the right-hander, you need to brake because you need to go into this next corner very nice and neat. Into this next part, beautiful line through there. Mount the curb on the outside, back to the inside and to the outside. It's a beautiful run through there. Heading now towards the section which which the Shanghai International Circuit is known for. Inside. Here we go. You guys can see this very long sweeping right-hander. It's very quick, and here we go through it. We mount the curb on the outside. We barrel down the straight as we head towards one of the longest straights on the F1 calendar. We head towards the hairpin. Open up DRS, heading in towards the hairpin now. It's a hard braking zone for all the way from 320 plus kilometers an hour to less than 100 through the hairpin. Beautiful exit through there. We're nearly 4/10 up on our time, just one corner to go. Mount the curb on the inside and the outside. Open the throttle, DRS open, and we are in P. No! Oh boy, we are not even P14, P12. Guys, we are in P16. We gained time on Albin. We're not more than half a second down now. We're less than 3/10 down on Albin, but that was the difference between P12 and P16. And shock, Hamilton is out of quali. So yeah.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before the braking zone of turn 14. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Let's talk about Parker. No grid penalties, no mitigating circumstances, just a poor qualifying performance and a very disappointing start position for them today.
They'll have a sinking feeling as they look up from the cockpit and realise they're in a different postcode to the start line for sure. But the one positive they can hold on to is that the car is quick and they can make their way through the field.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Sainz, Charles Leclerc and Norris, Vettel, Kvyat, Gasly and Lance Stroll, Hamilton, Albon, Sergio Perez and Ocon, Magnussen, Parker, Romain Grosjean and Kimi Raikkonen, Russell, Giovinazzi, Latifi and Jack Aitken. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
What I meant to say before we headed towards the Grand Prix was Hamilton fell out in Q2, guys. If you guys saw that with the grid rundown, Hamilton is in P11. So, very interesting Grand Prix awaiting us. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to go down below, hit that subscribe down below, and don't forget to ding that bell to turn on your notifications to never ever miss an awesome video here on Turbo Fox Racers. Guys, I'm going for the awkward strategy from hards onto mediums. Let's hope it pays off and that the rain stays away. But I can tell you one thing, it's going to be a very interesting Grand Prix. But we have to have a good start. Let's see what happens. Jam with me on the warm-up lap.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, 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 for you. Won't you let the light shine through?
Chinese Grand Prix. We head to 5 red lights and it's go, go, go for the Chinese Grand Prix. Hamilton and Bottas and Verstappen on the front row because Hamilton is more behind. Into the first corner, Bottas leads the way from Verstappen heading into the first corner. The second Red Bull of Carlos Sainz is actually right behind them with one of the Renaults. I think that might be Daniel Ricciardo also getting in the mix here for the top 4. You've even got the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc in that little mix there. But it's a beautiful start from all the drivers, nice and clean, and Bottas leads the way from Verstappen P2. But Sainz and Ricciardo are going side by side. 4 P3, the final podium positions. There's a little bit of a yellow flag there in the back, but it seems like the Renault of Ricciardo has come out on top. And that was a beautiful little sequence there from Sainz and Ricciardo. We jump back to our POV for our start. The only driver to start on the hard tires. Everybody outside the top 10 has started on the mediums, and the guys in the top 10 have started on their softs. So into the first corner, you got to see there's a little bit of I can't go anywhere, and the inside line opens up. I got the inside of my teammate, and he actually gets a little bit startled as I go up the inside. We now try and move around the outside of the racing point there of, I think, Sergio Perez, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, big tank slapper right across the nose of Albon. I was a little bit too quick on the throttle coming out of the corner there. You got to see a beautiful movie up the inside of Hamilton and Perez. Everybody just concertinas up, and that was an easy move move, but also Hamilton gets past Stroll. It was not Perez, it was Stroll, guys. So the other racing point is right ahead of us. But I've gone from P16 to the leading driver on the alternate strategy, meaning everybody outside the top 10 going for a one-stop. Unlike the guys in the top 10 who will most likely go for a two-stop, I am the leading driver now. I have had an absolutely brilliant start. So we are now in P11, trying to go P10 actually, because we overtook Stroll. But here we go, onto this backstraight for the first time of this 50% race. Bottas leads the way from Verstappen P2, Ricciardo P3. We jump back onto our POV because we are in P10. Hamilton is right behind us. Stroll has had a horrendous start. If I was Stroll, I'll pit early, get out of traffic, get into clean air, and see if I can make up a few positions. We come on towards the back of Pierre Gasly, who's right behind the new McLaren driver Danny Kvyat. And here we go, you can see a little bit of a tank slapper coming out of the corner once again for me into the final corner. I'm still getting used to these hard tires on heavy fuel. It's not the best feeling in the world, but it's also not the worst. We now jump on board for lap 2. You can see we're really close to Gasly, but close but no cigar just yet. And guys, literally these soft tire runners, I was already on pace with them, so I knew 3-4 laps into the race their tires was going to start to die off. So it's going to be about who is the best tire preservation king on the softs to try a one-stop strategy, but I don't think it's going to be possible unless you can go to at least lap 8. So we'll see what these front runners do. Oh, almost run into the back of Gasly there, as it's a very, very early braking zone there for Gasly. I don't know why he broke so early, didn't need to, but I nearly broke my front wing on the rear end of Gasly's AlphaTauri. Into this next section, a beautiful line there. You got to see Hamilton is right behind me. It's clear that the medium tires are still the quicker tire compared to the hards, but also the thing is my tires are going to come into their prime when Hamilton's mediums start to die off. So as long as I can stay ahead of the Brit, I am all nice and dandy. Here we go, up the inside of Gasly at just the start of the very next lap. Beautiful move there up the inside as we now put a car in between ourselves and Lewis Hamilton. And you guys can clearly see the hard tire was not a bad choice to make for the beginning of this Grand Prix. The soft tire runners are not running away, but it's just quick enough to stay ahead of the medium tire runners. So that is very good. Here you guys can see it's actually Daniel Ricciardo chasing his former Red Bull teammate Max Verstappen for P2 here. The Renaults really have good pace here around the Shanghai International Circuit. And here we go. Through this final quarter before we get onto the back straight. It's Verstappen right ahead of Ricciardo. I think Ricciardo is a bit far back, even though this is a very long back straight. I don't think Ricciardo is going to be close enough. DRS has been enabled at this very doom and gloom Chinese Grand Prix, but look at the overspeed of the Renault. Beautiful move here from Ricciardo up the inside. The straight line speed of that Renault is insane, and I think Ricciardo might be running less downforce than Verstappen. So that was an absolutely beautiful move. We look at a replay here of Danny Kvyat, who is the car ahead of me in the McLaren, as he goes through the hairpin, coming out of the hairpin. Kvyat has a massive snap of oversteer, which gifts us P8, but that was very, very close to me running into the back of Kvyat. The one with Gasly was just me braking late. This was just so totally unexpected. Look at this, guys. The car just snaps and I'm just like, ooh. I literally had to jump a little bit onto the brakes there, or no, I didn't have to jump onto the brakes. I had to come off the throttle to make sure that I missed Gasly. But guys, look at the slow-mo. It is so close to Kvyat. We just miss that right rear tire. Oh, that is very, very close indeed. A little bit of a poop stripe in me pants, but we are still alive. We can still race away. We come towards the end of lap 4, and you guys can see Daniel Ricciardo is already diving it into the pit lane for Renault. He is the first driver to blink, and guys, if you come in on lap 4, there's no way you're making a one-stop work. The two-stop is the only way to go. So Daniel Ricciardo is in. I think Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc are also in. I know it's one of the McLarens, but I'm pretty sure it's not Kvyat. I'm pretty sure that it is Norris. Yes, there's that bright green helmet. It is Norris. And he actually gets jumped by the Ferrari thanks to him being held up by the AlphaTauri. Here we jump on board with Lewis Hamilton, guys, as he is now trying to make a move on Kvyat. He's got to work a little bit harder for this one than me, but it's also not a very hard move. That Mercedes in a straight line is an absolute rocket ship, as we have now caught up towards the rear end of Carlos Sainz and Sebastian Vettel. Oh no, it was Vettel who was the first Ferrari to pit, because here comes Charles. So Charles is into the lane, as well as Kvyat. So we are now left out with Sainz right ahead of us in the Red Bull. And guys, to give you guys an idea, we are not as quick as the Red Bull, and we were actually gaining pace on Sainz hand over fist on these fresh hard tires. Charles gets a bit held up there thanks to other drivers coming into the pit lane, but here comes Ricardo. Will Charles be ahead of Danny Rick or not? I highly doubt it. Here comes Ricardo, and he is still ahead of Leclerc. Will Leclerc come out ahead of his teammate Sebastian Vettel? No, he does not, but he comes out side by side with Lando Norris. That could have ended in misery if Lando turned in a bit earlier, but Lando is ahead of Charles with Kvyat right behind them, with Kvyat and Gasly right behind them. We now jump on board with Valtteri Bottas, guys, and I think this is the end of lap 6 or lap 7. He is followed in by Verstappen, and I think these are the first guys who are going to try and pull off a one-stop. We will have to see. But now Sainz leads the way with myself in P2, closely followed behind by Lewis Hamilton in P3. This race is absolutely crazy. Yes, Bottas goes onto the hards. He's going for the one-stop. Verstappen is doing the exact same. So the thing is, Sainz has stayed out, so both Red Bulls are going for the one-stop. This is very, very interesting. But we jump on board here with Daniel Ricciardo, who is in between a Williams sandwich. As he's overtaking all these back markers, but he's out just ahead of Valtteri Bottas, and that means Daniel Ricciardo is in the net P1 of this Chinese Grand Prix. He is now the leader of this whole pack. Verstappen is right behind them with Vettel, Norris, Leclerc, Kvyat, Gasly, and Ocon is still also in this little scrabble here. But that is how the order stands now. Here you guys can see we jump on board with ourselves at the end of lap 7 as we are closing up to Carlos Sainz. Look at the overspeed into the braking zone. Lean mixture on the field to make sure we don't have wheel spin coming out of the corner around the outside of the Red Bull driver, and that is what better grip does for you. A beautiful move around the outside, and what do you know, that is the lap where Sainz boxes. So Sainz boxes at the end of lap 7, so he's also going for the one stop. That means Bottas and Max pitted at the end of lap 6. So very interesting times here. Here you guys can see actually all these drivers coming through. This is the driver we're searching for, Daniel Ricciardo and Valtteri Bottas right behind him, who just got past the second Williams. But here we go. Ricciardo, will he resume in the net P1? Obviously it's not P1 on the road because there's still a lot of stuff that need to happen. But Carlos Sainz really has been done dirty with the staying out on the soft so long. But here comes Sainz. He is ahead of Kvyat and Gasly, but his tires will be fresher. And trust me guys, come the end of the race, one lap fresher tires can really make a big difference. So you guys can see we are leading the way ahead of Lewis Hamilton in P2. Everything is looking all nice and dandy. We are leading the way, but you guys know we still have to make a pit stop, and we will be the last driver to make a stop as we have a massive snap of oversteer going through that double left-hander. It's the opportune moment for Lewis Hamilton to try and go up the inside. He goes up the inside, 51v44. Into this next corner, we have the inside for the sweeping right-hander onto the back straight. But the thing is, if Hamilton is this close to me, do I want to be ahead of him because he's going to have DRS? We are ahead of him, but I don't think I haven't thought this move through properly. But, oh, actually, we have DRS? Look at that! We actually were the car that had DRS. That means we crossed the DRS detection line behind Hamilton. So that actually saved my bacon. I can be really, really grateful for that. You got to see Ricciardo trying to go around the outside of one of the Haas cars. I think that is Magnussen, if I'm not mistaken. But beautiful move there from Ricciardo as he is now coming towards the end of that lap behind the Alfa Romeo of, I think it might be Kimi Räikkönen. It's either Räikkönen or Giovinazzi. He opens up DRS. He pulls to the inside. Nothing that Räikkönen can do about it. I just quickly glanced over at the helmet. It is Räikkönen, guys. And now Ricciardo is in between an Alfa Romeo sandwich. We jump on towards the very next lap as Ricciardo is now going for the second Alfa Romeo, which is Giovinazzi. It's got to be a similar move to the one he made on Kimi. Easy move up the inside. Nothing that Gio can do about it, but he is not in a car as quick as Ricciardo's. We now jump on board with Lewis Hamilton at the end of lap 12, guys. And as you guys can see, Hamilton's tires are donezo, and he is coming into the pit lane to strap on a set of hard tires to run to the end of the race. But look at this, guys. It's an iiTzTurbo boosted racing 1-2. I lead the way from Alexander Albon in P2, but we both still have to stop. I think Albon is going to pit the next lap. Albon is trying to go for the overcut on Lewis Hamilton because Hamilton is most probably going to come out in traffic now. So basically, Albon is trying to go for an overcut in clean air. And there you guys see Hamilton is, oh no, that's Bottas. Then we've got Verstappen, Norris, and it's only then, no, it's the two Ferraris who are on the two-stop, but Hamilton is in a major traffic jam. So this might be a 200 IQ place from Albon. You can see it's the this is actually the end of lap 14. Albon has gone 2 laps longer to see if he can jump Hamilton. Beautiful thinking here from the iiTzAssassins turbo boosted boys. A lot of the two-stoppers have already come in, guys, that are going from softs to mediums to another set of mediums. But Hamilton is stuck behind the two Ferraris, as actually they are still staying out. So Hamilton is really in a pickle here. But let's see, will he come out ahead or behind Albon? Into the first corner, Vettel, Leclerc, Hamilton. Where's Albon? I don't see Albon, guys. I think Albon's tires were just too dead. Yes, they were. Albon is out on the hards, and he is going side by side with Danny Kvyat. Oh my word. Kvyat gets the better of Albon, but Kvyat is on a two-stop. So Albon he's in a good position, guys. Now heading towards the end of lap 15, guys, this is when I decided a set of mediums will make it to the end. Let's box. Let's get off of the slower tire and onto the faster one so that we can actually start chasing down some of the hard tire runners that are doing the one stop that were ahead of us when their stops started. So here we go into the lane. We are boxing from P1. But guys, look at that. Daniel Ricciardo is also into the pit lane, so he's not even going to take the position away from us.
Go, go, go.
Thank you, Jeff. We are going to come out still ahead of Ricciardo.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
Guys, this has been an absolute stroke of brilliance. We have come out in P3 behind Norris, who still has to make a stop. He's on a two-stop, but the only driver ahead of us on the one-stop is Valtteri Bottas, and he is on, what's that? It's almost 10 lap old hard tires, and we are on fresh mediums. What's he gonna do? He's not gonna be able to do anything because he's gonna be a sitting duck. Oh my word, and Hamilton is still stuck behind the two Ferraris. So the one guy that could actually have given me a problem this race is stuck in traffic. So, this has played out beautifully for us. Guys, I said at the beginning of this episode, there is almost no way that we are going to be able to win this Grand Prix. I might swallow my own words, because Norris is in. We now take P2 on the road. One of the Ferraris is in. It's Vettel who's in for the Ferraris. And all the two-stoppers are going to cycle out now. And then we'll probably run through the top 10 again. But guys, look at Albon. Albon is going to be in the points with a strong finishing position. I mean, we jump on board with Hamilton as he is right behind Charles Leclerc, who I think is behind Carlos Sainz. No, I think actually this is Verstappen. And here Leclerc tries to go for the move on the Red Bull driver. It is Verstappen, and Hamilton just basically pushes Leclerc, not literally but figuratively, ahead of Verstappen. Hamilton up the inside of Max, who is on a one-stop. So this is for position. Charles is going to feed into the pit lane now. There goes Charles, and it's Hamilton around the outside of Verstappen, but he's got the second Red Bull of Carlos Sainz to worry about as we head down the main straight to start another lap. And that's a beautiful move from Sainz as he also goes up the inside of his teammate Verstappen. But Hamilton is the leading driver. We now jump on board with our POV, guys, and look how close we are to Valtteri Bottas, guys. We are tucked up right underneath his rear wing. We are smelling his oil, but that's the battle for the lead. Hamilton is now in P3 with Carlos Sainz in P4, who is broken away from his teammate. Verstappen is in P5 with my teammate Albon in P6 on much fresher hards. Perez P7. Ricciardo is in P8. The former race leader, well, he never led the race, but he should have led the race, is in P8. Stroll is in P9, and I don't even know who was in P10 there. But guys, look at this. Valtteri Bottas, this is lap 20, guys, lap 20 of 28, and we are slowly but surely just planning our move, and this is where I started to set it up, guys. Through the hairpin, get a better exit, and onto the main straight. Don't use too much ERS on the back straight, and now we're gonna blast it down the main straight. Take that corner very aggressively, open up DRS, overtake mode is engaged. We cross the line to start lap 21. We pull to the inside, and that is us taking the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. We go up the inside of Bottas. He tries to fight us a bit. We have to leave him room there because we were a little bit quick into the corner. It was a little bit of a late braking moment. moment, but we just shove Valtteri out to dry. And we are now leading the Chinese Grand Prix on the quickest compound of tire. There's nothing that Bottas or Hamilton can do about it now. We quickly have a replay of this beautiful move up the inside of Valtteri. Nothing that the number 77 can do, and that is an absolutely sensational move. And we are, guys, we can win our third race in a row. If something doesn't go horrendously wrong, we are winning our third race in a row. And look, just to make it even sweeter, we look at a replay again as my teammate Albon goes up the inside of the man who qualified on the front row, Max Verstappen, who started P2. He's up the inside of Verstappen, and that is Albon now up into P5 of this Grand Prix. Or is that actually P4? I think it might even be, no, it's P5 because Sainz is in P4. Guys, look at that. We end lap 23 to start lap 24. It's myself with a 2.5 second lead over Bottas, who is what's that? It's about 2.8 seconds, no, actually it's more. He's about 3.2 seconds ahead of Hamilton, with Sainz Sainz is 11 seconds down the road from me. And Albon might even catch Carlos here. If Albon plays his cards right, then these final 5 laps of his are nice bangers. He can even get a P4. Okay, that was just Jeff reminding me about my fuel, guys. Thank you very much, Jeff. We jump now on board with ourselves on lap 26. There's 2.5 laps to go. And you guys can see we are just slowly but surely easing our way to the lead. But guys, look at that gap between Bottas and Hamilton. Remember, Hamilton's tires are much fresher than Valtteri's. So Lewis can... What was that from Jeff? Sorry, I didn't hear that. But Lewis can easily take P2 away from Valtteri, and that means the people who qualified P11 and P16 are going to be 1 and 2 in this race. How does that work? It's Bahrain all over again. But we go down the back straight. This is now the penultimate lap, guys. We're going to start the final lap pretty soon. The gap to Bottas has come down a bit. It's down to 2 seconds because my mediums have started to die off a bit. But I just need to nurse the car home. We've got enough fuel to be quick in the straights, but the battle we want to look at is the battle between Hamilton and Valtteri. Let's go. Hamilton v Bottas, Lewis v Valtteri. Let's get this going. We start the final lap of the Chinese Grand Prix. And once again, I've spoken over Jeff, guys. I do apologize. We go into the first corner for the final time where we have driven an absolutely stonker of a race. Nobody expected this, not even me. I thought I was going to come out like P8, P9, and then just work my way past the 2 stoppers, but that's not what has happened. Hamilton is right behind his teammate as we start the final lap, and is Lewis actually going to be able to make a move on Bottas on the back straight? You can see that, oh, that's a very aggressive line into that corner. I actually dip a wheel onto the grass there. I'm lucky not to lose control of my car. But you guys can see, I've got more than enough breathing room. I don't have to push hard and overwork the tires so that I have a spin or something else. I just need to ease my way to the finish. But that battle behind me between the two Black Panthers is the one that we are most interested in. Here we go. Number 44 v number 77. Hamilton right behind Bottas as we come through. There's a sweeping right-hander onto the back straight for the final time this season and for this race. Hamilton is right behind his teammate Bottas. Hamilton will open up DRS now, and will he actually be able to make a move on his teammate heading into the penultimate corner or the final corner? Here we go, Lewis Hamilton. He's not close enough. He's not close enough. Valtteri maintains P2. We have a little bit of a twitch there coming out of the penultimate corner, but through the final corner, it's 3 in a row. We take the Triple Crown, and we take the win in China.
That's a race win. You've really been great today.
There'll be many smiles at the factory after that one. A great race and a real team performance to take the win here in Shanghai. Ant, talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
Well, when you overtake that many people, I'd certainly hope you'd win the race. Their car was really effective in the slipstream here today, and the team would be pleased that they didn't cook the engine, given how long they were spending in the hot air behind other cars. They had a lot of confidence to push their tyres hard as well, especially going into the corners, which allowed for some late braking and some exciting passes.
Here comes your top three making their way down to the podium for what can only be described as a fantastic day for Formula One. Let's see how the driver standings have changed. Parker increases their championship lead. Now, let's discuss, Ants. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
I have to give it to Parker. They demonstrated a very delicate touch in close proximity to other cars, as well as showing a lot of maturity and patience in difficult situations.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. The owner-drivers team moved to the top of the table. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improved their position in the championship. Well, Ants, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
The fans really seemed to enjoy that. You made it look easy. Did you have the wrong fuel strategy today, or was it your management? You were cutting your way through the field during the race. You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, Claire, and your very fancy cameraman. Guys, can we just please take a moment? Bahrain, we won on a fluke. I'll take that. It was a good strategy, and we got our butts saved by the safety car. But we shouldn't have won that race. If the safety car didn't interfere, we shouldn't have won. Vietnam, we won on pure pace. The car had just absolute insane race space around the city streets of Vietnam. But come to China, I did not expect the amount of race space we had. It wasn't as much as back in Vietnam, but with the already good race pace we had, we put ourselves on the right tire compounds at the right time, use the heavy tires when the car's going to wear the tires the most on heavy fuel at the beginning of the race, and at the end of the race, strap on the quicker medium tires on lighter fuel, and look what it brought us. Albon finished in P5. He bags 10 points. He's 9 in the Drivers' Championship. We are still in the lead of the drivers, but it's with 24 points, and we've taken the lead of the Constructors' Championship. We are ahead of Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton is having an absolute mare of a season for the first 3 rounds. He's tied with with Ricciardo on 27 points for Renault. Bottas is the only championship rival at this stage that I have. Carlos Sainz is doing an absolute worldie for Red Bull. Verstappen is just not there. I mean, he's behind Grosjean in the AlphaTauri when it comes to the points. But guys, look at the constructor standings. It's not much. That can literally change the next race. But we are 7 points ahead in the Constructors' Championship ahead of Mercedes. Red Bull, Renault, and McLaren are not close to us. None of the other teams are close to us. So it's at this stage, it's a constructors' fight between ourselves and Mercedes. How has this happened? I did not think we were going to fight for the championship this season, but clearly I was wrong, and clearly we can win the championship this season. We need to just keep developing. We need to get on Mercedes' pace, especially for qualifying. Quality performances like this can cost us further on in the season. We can't afford this. So even though it's a win, it's straight back to work. The team is going to be pushing. We need to develop this car. We need to get on pace with the rest of the grid. But guys, an absolutely insane race. Like on this channel as usual, China provides an absolutely amazing race again. Guys, if this race doesn't deserve your like, I do not know what will. So drop a like down below on the video. It's only going to take you 2 seconds. And guys, please do drop a like, because with the latest YouTube algorithm, it really supports liked videos more. So the more you guys like, the better my videos will do. So drop a like down below. Do not forget to what did I want to say? Oh yeah, do not forget to go check out the links in the description down below. Check out Falcon Gaming South Africa, my South African gaming clan. Check me out on social media. All my social media pages are down below. As well as go check out my second YouTube channel, iiTzAssassins Watch Gaming, where it's a non-racing channel, but we do a lot of fun stuff on there with myself and iiTzAssassins. And guys, finally, if you are new to the channel and you haven't yet hit that subscribe, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe down below. Don't forget to ding that bell to never miss a future awesome video here on Turbo Fox Races. We've got podcasts, we've got Wreckfest, we've got Need for Speed, we've got career mode, we've got F2, we've got my team. You are going to be happy here on Turbo Fox Races. So hit the subscribe, turn on your notifications, and let's have a good time together. Guys, it's been an absolutely insane race. I can't believe we won this. This move, one of my favorite moves I've ever made. It was just so satisfying to take the lead in a car which I know shouldn't really be there, but good car on the perfect tires at the perfect time. It's a winning recipe. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying till the end. I love you guys, and I'll see y'all next episode. Cheers!
Frag out!